Barbara Colby was a TV and stage actress who seemed to be poised for great things before tragedy struck early on in her career. She caught the public's attention thanks to a handful of appearances on The Mary Tyler Moore Show. She was subsequently cast as a main cast member on the 1975 spin-off Phyllis. Sadly, Barbara was only able to film 3 episodes of the spin-off series before her life was taken from her. Join Facts First as we explore the unsolved case of Barbara Colby, Mary Tyler Moore actress gone too soon. Barbara Colby was born in New York City on July 2, 1939, but while she was young, her parents moved her to New Orleans. She first delved into acting her senior year of high school, quickly falling in love with the stage and joining a local community theater troupe called Le Petit Théâtre du Vieux-Quart, which is located in the French Quarter of New Orleans. While working with that theater troupe, Barbara was utilized mostly for her sewing skills, but she also got several opportunities to stretch her acting muscles on stage. She had 2 minor roles with the theater troupe and decided she wanted to pursue acting professionally. After high school, she attended Bard College in New York. She was glad for the opportunity to return to her home state, especially since she had her sights set on Broadway. After Bard College, she traveled abroad and attended a semester at Paris's Sorbonne University. She returned to New York and continued pursuing Broadway. She developed a strong spirituality early on in her adulthood, helping her avoid drugs and alcohol. But her healthy lifestyle wasn't enough to save her from later tragedy. After a few years of paying dues in her industry, Barbara Colby was finally given a chance to appear on Broadway in 1965. Her debut came in the play The Devils, and multiple other roles in Broadway productions came in the wake of this successful performance. While Barbara knew stage acting was what she really wanted to do, her successful Broadway performances also opened up the opportunity to start appearing on television. She made her TV debut in an early episode of the series Columbo. Following this appearance, Barbara traveled back and forth between California and New York routinely to maintain her burgeoning careers on stage and television. Besides Columbo, some of the many TV shows she could be seen in included Gunsmoke, Kung Fu, Macmillan and Wife, and The Odd Couple. During the years she was traveling between California and New York City, she was married to first and only husband Robert Levitt Jr., who's best known for being the son of Golden Age actress Ethel Merman. They ended up divorcing, after which Barbara decided she wanted to remain permanently in California. This was partly due to the fact she had just been offered a role as a main cast member on the series Phyllis, which was a spin-off of The Mary Tyler Moore Show. Barbara had previously performed on The Mary Tyler Moore Show multiple times, and actress Cloris Leachman handpicked Barbara personally to be her co-star when she was offered her own spin-off. Hey, if you're enjoying this video so far, be sure to give it a like and subscribe to Facts First for more, and stick around for more about Barbara Colby. After deciding to call California her permanent home, Barbara began working as an acting teacher in tandem with performing her various TV roles. While teaching, she fell in love with one of her students named James, and the two ended up moving in together at a house in Topanga Canyon. On one night in July of 1975, Barbara and James were walking out of their acting school when something happened that abruptly ended their lives. After school, they socialized with some of Barbara's other students in the parking lot before eventually making their way to their car before midnight. As they were getting into their vehicle, a van drove up behind them. There were 2 men in the van, and these men proceeded to open fire on Barbara and her boyfriend. The van drove off. The men never left the van and didn't take anything from either Barbara or James. Barbara was shot only once, but the shot proved fatal. The bullet had gone through her arm and penetrated her chest, and her lung was severely punctured. She died on the scene. James was fatally wounded, but managed to survive long enough to be taken to the hospital and questioned by police. According to James, he had no idea who the 2 men in the van were or why they did it. If it hadn't been for a third party who overheard the gunshots and called police, authorities likely wouldn't have been notified of Barbara and James's murder until someone had stumbled upon them the next morning. As the night went on, several other crimes reported involving 2 men in a van, leading police to believe that the crime that had ended Barbara and James's lives was part of a spree. But all the other victims of the 2 suspected men had been robbed, while nothing was taken from Barbara or James. Multiple men were brought in for questioning related to the crime, but authorities never managed to pin the spree of crimes on any 2 culprits. To this day, authorities are still baffled by this spree of crimes. After exhausting all their suspects, they eventually gave up and decided to move on to more solvable crimes. Barbara was 36 when she died. Not only was she an incredibly healthy person with a positive outlook on life, but she was also quickly finding more success in her professional career than ever. Sadly, we'll never know what she was really capable of. Out of the many people who want to know the reason Barbara Colby's life was ended so abruptly, perhaps the one who wants to know the most is the late star's younger sister, Renee. Renee has continually pleaded with the public for anyone with information about the death of her sister to come forward, but it seems the younger sister's pleas have continued to fall on deaf ears. Despite not having any luck finding her sister's killers, Renee manages to find peace in her belief that the two men in that van have likely found their comeuppance in some karmic way that she'll never know. Although Barbara's career was abruptly ended far too early, she did manage to perform in a few notable roles before her time came. The 2 episodes of The Mary Tyler Moore Show that she appeared in remain fan favorites. Barbara's first appearance was in the episode Will Mary Richard Go to Jail?, in which the character of Mary does in fact go to jail. While there, she socializes with cellmate Sherry, played by Barbara. When Barbara Colby was invited to become a main cast member on Phyllis, she was given a new role to play. She played Julie Erskine for 3 episodes of the spin-off before she was murdered. Phyllis lasted from 1975 to 77, though we'll never know if it would have been more successful if Barbara Colby hadn't been taken from us. Now it's time to hear from you. Do you remember Barbara Colby? What's your favorite memory of Barbara Colby? Let us know in the comments section below. And before you go, make sure you give this video a like and subscribe to Factsverse if you haven't already. Click the bell icon to stay updated on all our latest content.